Today I'd like to show you a very efficient and very practical way of an alternative to the flip-top tool design, as you see here. What do I mean by the flip-top design? Let me show you. Okay, here's a good example of what I'm talking about, the flip-top design. And it seems to be really popular these days if you just search on flip-top tools or something along that line. Or even a year or so ago, it was in a popular DIY magazine. And it has a platform that's on a pivot, and it has two tools that are securely, of course, bolted to it, or else they would fall over when it's flipped over. This causes several problems, at least in my mind. For example, what about if your power cords are plugged in when you flip it? Or what about your dust collection hookup? And not the least of which problem is flipping this. When you get it where you want it, you have to lock it down so it'll stay stationary, which means you're holding up a heavy, awkward set of tools with one hand and locking it with the other hand. So it seems to me you would have a good chance of injuring both yourself and your tools. The beauty of this system is in its utter simplicity. You can easily build this on a Saturday morning for under $10 using little more than a couple of 2x4s, a couple of bungee cords, and some rubber drawer lining. And rotating this around, it's mounted on a mobile base. You can see the dust ports and the power cords are uninhibited. Now, to make this thing sit very solidly, I simply have 2x4s standed on end, bolted from the top using existing tools, mounting holes, and I also use some of this strips of this rubber drawer lining on the bottom of the 2x4s. When you combine that with the pulling down by these bungee cords, you have a very non-slip surface, and that thing is not going anywhere. So the flip-top system is very nice, and it has what I call a James Bond factor, whereas you can show it off to your friends and get the oohs and ahs, but it's just not as practical or as easy to get going as this is. I hope you can use this, and you don't have to use these particular tools. You could possibly use, say, a jigsaw or something like that on top, or any two semi-stationary tools. The planer is bolted down so it's solid to the base. And finally, the tool on top is, unlike the flip top, completely movable at will if you want to. You just need to unhook two bungee cords and pick it up with the 2x4s attached, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching.